Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I just wanted to share a brief testimony for that person that may be struggling in your finances, but you're living for God. It's very important that you hear what I have to say because our God is faithful. Our God is faithful. So, as some of you all know from my previous videos I've had, it's been a little over 2 years that I gave the Lord a yes, probably about 2.5 years, that I finally gave up. I gave up my will. I'm sorry. I gave up my will and I told God yes, and I was not playing. I was not joking. This was it. This was it for me. And so right after that though, it's like everything started getting bad for me, but it was weird because it was like an unusual type of thing. It was just opposition coming. My finances were under attack, and I was a tithe payer. So I was like at war with God. I'm like, why are you not at war? But I was constantly like, well, God, I pay my tithe. I've always paid my tithe. Like I pay my tithe. I'm a good steward. I don't misuse. I'm doing everything I can. I'm a single mom, just trying to take care of my kids. I don't want to be on the street. I need you to come through. My car acting up. I'm just like, Lord, why have you forsaken me? It's like, God, what's wrong? What am I doing wrong? Because God, you're perfect. You're perfect. So it's not you. What am I doing wrong? And so the Lord, as time went on, I literally went through this for 2 years. Yeah, for 2 years, I went through this struggle. It was horrible, and I felt like no matter how I tried to get out of this place, I felt like I was in a dark room, like pitch black with no windows, and I'm trying to feel my way through to an exit. That's how I felt. And I remember explaining that to God because that's just how I talked to him. I said, Father, I don't feel like you're with me. And I feel like I'm just in this dark room and just trying to feel my way to some exit. And I just couldn't feel my way anywhere. Um, and I remember one time I tried to reach out to a church for help, and they literally told me no and actually said some horrible things to me. But I won't get into all of that because that's another video for another time when the Lord says to reveal that, to yeah, share that. And so, either way it go, I stayed faithful. I didn't turn back. I didn't, you know, find other ways to make money. Um, I refused. I refused to turn to whatever, any type of relief. I refused to turn to those things. I didn't turn to people. I didn't turn to drugs. I didn't turn to alcohol. I said, God, if this is it, this is just what it is. I'm waiting on you to deliver me out of the situation. I said, if only you, can't nobody deliver me out of this, and can't no drink do nothing but make me more madder. I said, God, I just need you to help me. And I mean, this went on for 2 years. So you can imagine 2 years, 2 years of just every day. Like there was some days, y'all, I didn't know how I was going to make ends meet. There was some days where, my light bill would be due that Friday, and I didn't have any money in my account. And so then, like God would bless me to get a check in the mail. It was crazy the way things happened, for me, because he provided during this 2 years now. Don't get me wrong, he provided, but it was so stressful because I wouldn't have I didn't have no means of income. I didn't have no income coming in. It wasn't like I had a job or anything. So, and then I didn't have anybody to help me with my daughter. So it was like I couldn't work because I didn't have childcare. I couldn't get childcare because I couldn't pay for the childcare. Like I was like in a really, really bad situation. Um, so either way it go, it's like God just provided, but he just did just enough to get us through to the next month. And then just enough. I mean, to the point where this one lady called me out the blue and was like, "Can you meet me at the mall?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I go meet her, and she like put $140 in my hand, and like it was like folded up, and she gave it to me though, like when she left. So I didn't even know until I got in the car and she had drove out. I was like, "Oh my God!" Like, and I had my cell phone was due, so it's just like that's how God provided for me. So it's like even though I was going through, He showed Himself in those situations because I really felt like I was by myself. So either way it go, what I want to encourage you with is this. Even though I had to go through, what God was showing me is that in the midst of all of that, there was so many things that God had to get out of me. There were things God had to work out of me. God had to increase my faith in Him. He had to get certain things. It's like it was things that He was getting out of me. I mean, it was just things that He was delivering me from, because when you're in distress, it caused me to run to Him even more and stay at His feet and keep crying out to Him. And I was just getting delivered all that time. So it wasn't in vain, it was necessary, because at the point that God has me now, I needed to be delivered before He got me to where I am now, not to mention where He's taken me. So I bless God. And even in the midst of all of that, He caused certain people to fall away. He revealed certain relationship, the motives behind certain relationships and certain people. It was crazy. He showed me so many things in the midst of this, what I saw to be the valley of death. I'm telling you, I felt so I can't even explain it. That's why I know what it's like to be in a dark place. But you're not in that dark place because of something you did. You're in that dark place so that God can get some things out of you. And it's a necessary place. It's so necessary. Oh my God. I thank God for that time. I thank God for taking me through everything that He did. Because if He hadn't have done that, I wouldn't know that God is faithful. I wouldn't know that He can do anything. I wouldn't know Him the way that I know Him. It's in those hard times that you get to know God, because He gonna show up. He gonna show up. You cannot hunger and thirst after God and not be filled. You cannot seek Him and seek Him with all your heart and not find Him. You will find Him. He will reveal Himself to you. So moving forward, as God, God opened this door to where, my finances, they ain't even triple, they quadruple, they did something. It's way more than what I was getting, and it's just such a blessing what He has done in my life. I think I said before, God has blessed me to have 4 streams of income. I went from none to 4. And I don't say that to brag. I say that to share with you and encourage somebody that if you trust God, if you hang in there, that He will bring you through and that He's with you in those dark times. I'm telling you, I could probably go back and share some old videos where I was just like, God, where are you? And I'm telling you, I was just so I can't even explain it. God is good. God is faithful. He is faithful. So be encouraged today. I don't know who this is for, but if you're needing God to do something for you, you have to stick with Him. There is no shortcuts. There is no quick way around being delivered. There is no quick way around it. We have to do it God's way. I'm gonna put it like that, because some people, God is different. It's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. You may not have needed 2 years, but I needed that time. And part of it I know was my fault because I was being stubborn. Part of the time I was having probably a pity party or something, but God is faithful. He's going to do what He said He's going to do. And that's why I say, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. I don't care what, wait on God. He may not come when you want Him, but baby, as they say, He always on time. He always on time. So be encouraged today. If you're going through anything, just know there is other believers understand. Some of us have been where you are, and that's why it's important we share with other believers. Some, those that God give you the discernment that you can share with them. Share with them where you are, because you never know. There's always somebody who's been where you are. Who's been where you are. I'm telling you, God will bless you to allow you to meet people or come into contact with people who have been where you are, to encourage you to hold on. So whoever this is for, hold on. I know the nights are hard and long, and I know you probably tired of crying, because I know I cried so long, y'all. My doggone eyes was hurting. They would be hurting and they would be puffy all the time. Face be all red. I'm telling you, I've been there. I've been there. My knees would hurt so bad because I stayed on my kitchen floor. I stayed on that floor crying, y'all. I stayed on my living room floor crying, y'all. Crying out to God for him to help me and to deliver me. But just like the children in the land of Egypt, they cried and cried for God to deliver them. And it took way longer for God to bring them out. But just know God heard them and he sent Moses. You got to be encouraged today. Stop being discouraged by how long it's taking, and be encouraged that the God that you serve heard you and he's bringing you out. He's bringing you out. And for somebody, this is your help, for you to know that he is bringing you out. He's bringing you out. I thank God every day for everything he has done for me. Oh, God is so good. He is so good. He is so good. Be encouraged. He's with you. Be encouraged.